How's the, how do you feel like the offensive line has done this year? Obviously a lot of guys that were vets coming back. How would you kind of assess how you guys have done?
I think we played pretty well. We've done a lot of good things, but we can still get better.
It seems like the trenches have been maybe a little bit of a strength for this team. You've been able to run the ball pretty well, for the most part protect Brett, and obviously the D lines have been playing really well too. How much pride does this team take in that?
I mean, a lot of pride. I mean, it all starts for the O-line. That's what we think, So we just try to all be on the same page, come out there, be physical, and do our job.
Obviously, first half to second half, fans, everybody makes a big deal out of that. We've seen the difference, just the drop-off in production. What do you see? What do you guys see as the reason why you go 435 yards in the first half and 10 yards in the third quarter there?
I mean, we just got to come out with better energy and focus and really focus on our jobs and execute. We just got to execute.
Yeah, Coach Harshman was saying if you pick up one first down here, just get the chains moving one time, you can kind of get the momentum rolling. What was it like in the third quarter? Just really seemed like you couldn't get anything going.
I mean, it was frustrating, but then again, I mean, it's on all of us. We all need to do our jobs and execute, and then we'll be all right. I mean, it worked in the first quarter, or second quarter, first half. So we just need to get that ball rolling, and then we'll be all right.
Curious, coming out last week and you kind of ran a lot of those quote-unquote trick plays early in the game. What's it like for you as an offensive lineman to see those kind of work? And I mean, on some of those, you guys are pulling and doing fun stuff as well that you probably like to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's fun to see, or it's fun for us to see all that kind of stuff happen and then have the ball go all the way around. I mean, it's fun to watch, especially when it's wide open and it works. So it's nice.
How important are some of the steps and stuff that you guys take to make sure that those are executed properly?
We know our jobs. I mean, we have to do that, and then it keeps the defense honest too. I mean, they can't just focus on one thing. They got to worry about us going completely changing fields. So I mean, it helps us out a lot.
What's Brett been like? I know obviously he had a pretty good first half, not the best second half, and not the best second half against Washington State. Have you noticed his demeanor, and obviously is he the kind of guy that's fired up about those sort of things?
I mean, we have the utmost confidence in Brett. I mean, he's a great quarterback. I think he's done a great job. We all, just as a collective group, need to pick it up and do better.
The Utah State game last year, obviously one to forget. What do you think when you go back to that game? And obviously it just seemed like every bounce went their way, every tip pass went their way, and you guys obviously didn't play very well.
Yeah, I mean, we remember that game. I mean, I just try to flush that out of my system, and come back better this year. And hopefully we don't do that again.
Is it a little motivation though going up against them again? Obviously, you don't think you played your best in that game to kind of get some payback on Saturday.
I mean, obviously, we want to go out there and do our jobs, and I think that's the main focus: doing our jobs and executing our plays.
Darren a couple weeks ago was talking about looking ahead at certain teams and said that's burned you guys before when we've been looking ahead. But a game like this, I mean, how much has that been in the back of your minds about wanting to get out there and set it where you guys can beat this team?
Yeah, I mean, we just one play at a time. I mean, one game at a time. We're not looking too far ahead. I mean, we're not thinking about a team 4 weeks in advance. It's one game at a time, and so this week is a big week for us, and we want to come out and do our job.
Has it been in the recesses of your mind anywhere though? This one, Utah State.
I mean, now that it's come up, there's nothing you can do but think of last year's game. So, but we got to move forward and do our job this game.
Their coach said it was arguably the greatest win in the history of the program after the game, and they stormed the field like they had won a championship. What do you remember about that aspect and kind of at the end of the game and you guys walking off and then kind of really celebrating?
It didn't feel good. So, I mean, we're going to try to come back this week and, get that win.
I know they're all important. You go week by week or whatnot, but do you guys make any more out of the fact that this is the start of Mountain West play this week too?
I mean, yeah, this is where everything really matters. This is where we want to. This is part of our goal to get to the championship. So this week is very important. We need to get through this team to reach our goal. So one game at a time.
Well, when you guys talk about motivators, and I mean, you guys look at that goal every day in the team room. So, I mean, the fact that that opportunity or that goal has slipped away from you in 2 of the last 3 seasons. I mean, is that something that you guys that's in the back of your minds at all?
I mean, yeah. I mean, we that's our goal. I mean, that's what we want to do. And this is a new season, so this is a fresh start. We could come out and do our job this game. That'd be awesome. That'd be one step closer to our goal, climbing that mountain.
You guys obviously didn't have Jeremy last time when you played Utah State. How big of a factor do you think that was, and having him obviously for Saturday? How big did that mean?
I'm over last year's game. I'm looking at this year's game. So.
But how much would of a difference would he would he have made or does he make?
I mean, he's a great player. I mean, he can run the ball, catch the ball. He could have made a definite impact. So I mean.
With him, and we talk about the offense finding a rhythm and all that stuff. How important is he to the offense in running the ball to creating that rhythm?
I mean, very important. He's the guy who gets a lot of the touches, so he feels out how we're blocking, and the stepping stones in blocking. He feels it out, so it's very important.
I know last year he wanted to be a physical runner, but he just seems like he's on a different level this year. I mean, have you seen that out of him?
Oh yeah, he's running hard. He's progressed so much, and I think he's going to be a great running back for us.
Piggybacking off of that, Coach Huff said last week when you watched Jeremy, it fires you up. How much on your offensive line specifically does it fire you up watching him run the ball?
I mean, a lot. He's breaking some arm tackles, making us look good. He's finding the right holes that we're making for him, so he's making us look better, so that's good.
Do you ever see? I mean, it doesn't seem like he leaves very many yards out there. I mean, there was a couple times where we got guys that are wrapped around his ankles, and he still kind of figures out a way to torque his body and lean forward for those 2 additional yards.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome for us. You see a guy fighting like that, it just makes you want to fight even more, too.
You obviously have gone against David Moa in practice a little bit, I'm sure. What impresses you about him? And he's obviously been off to a really good start.
He's got a motor. That kid he's going to be real good. He doesn't stop. You may think you have him, and then he'll pull out another move, so he keeps you on your toes. He makes me better, so he's going to be a great player. He is already.
I would say he's going to
He
be.
is already, so, yeah.
I know you don't like talking about last year's game, but I'll try one more. The 7 turnovers in the first half. I mean, what did happen in that half? How do you explain what happened in that game?
Everything just went their way, so no more to say about that. We just got to be better on offense this year, and I think we've been doing that.
As a player, obviously, you look 1 year at a time. You got tunnel vision and stuff. But do you look around the Mountain West? I mean, do you notice how the conference does and stuff like that? And obviously, maybe a little surprised at some of these non-conference results. I mean, you and San Diego State are the only ones to beat a Power 5 this year.
I mean, I see some of that stuff, but I'm mostly focused on how we're doing and how our next opponent and how we can do better against them. So you just got to go 1 week at a time. I just look at our next opponents.
Do you think that stuff matters? I mean, like how the conference does in non-conference. I mean, obviously it matters for you guys, but I mean, would you like to see more from the Mountain West? Or?
I mean, I'm just focused on what we're doing. I'm not focused on what anybody else is doing. We're trying to get to that, climb the mountain, get to that championship game. So that's our goal. That's what we want to do.
After the game on Saturday, Coach Harsin, just talking about the second half and stuff, that clearly there might be a little bit left to be desired with the team. But at that point in time, you're also still 3-0, and you had beaten 2 Pac-12 teams. So I guess what does that say about the ceiling of this team?
We could do a lot better. I mean, you can see it. Like the first half, we did great, and then the second half, we come out a little not so hot. So we can still finish a lot better, and that's something we're going to work on moving forward.